Hello friends, I'm going to be doing a video today that I saw originally on by Lydia from Lydia Sinn's channel, SENN, and it's called the Home Sweet Home tag. And she did not specifically tag me, but she did say that if anyone watching wanted to do the tag, then to feel free and do it. And it looked like fun, so I thought I would do it. So there's 16 questions, and I'm just going to start with question 1 and answer the questions, okay? Number 1, what is your living situation? Do you rent, own your home, live at home, etc.? We own our home. We have about a little over 2 years left on the mortgage, and then it really will be our home. But right now, we own the bank technically owns our home, but we're making payments to it, and we almost own it ourselves. Okay, number 2, what type of house do you live in? An apartment, townhouse, house, tiny home, etc. We live in a house. It's ranch style, and technically it's a double wide, but it's on a basement. So, and it's in a ranch style. Number 3, do you live in the city, suburbs, or country? We live in the country, and I'm very happy for that. I love living in the country. I know there's people that love to live in the city or the suburbs, but that is not me. I love living in the country. Number 4, how many people live in your home? Who do you live with? There are 4 of us, if you're not counting fur babies. If you count fur babies, there are 7 of us. There's me, Cheryl, my husband, Scott, my son, who is 18, and his name is Travis, and my 16-year-old daughter, Olivia. And then we have our 3 dachshunds, Lucy, Sally, and Pepper. Plus a menagerie of birds. You could probably hear them chirping in the background. Number 5, if you own your home, when did you buy it, and how old were you when you bought it? Well, there's a story behind our house. So I'll just tell you. The property that we live on has actually been in our family for over 50 years. My parents have lived on this property. I can't remember what the year it was, but it's been maybe closer to 60 years now. And they had 10 acres originally, and about 25-ish years ago, they decided to subdivide the 10 acres into equal portion for their 6 children, for myself and my 5 siblings, so that would be kind of our inheritance when they pass away. And they wanted to do it early so that if we decided we wanted to settle on our section of the land, then we would be free to do that. So that's what happened. And so when I was in my mid-20s, single, in my mid-20s, I decided I wanted to live on my section of the property. So my brother and myself and my mom and my dad worked to clear my land in a big enough area for a single wide trailer and to clear a driveway. And so I moved in. And about that same time, I met my husband, and after we got married, he didn't own any property or anything, so he just moved into my little trailer. And we lived happily in that little trailer for about 4 years. And 6 days after our 4th wedding anniversary, our son was born. And so at that time, well, actually a couple of years before that, we had known that eventually we were going to have a bigger home. So we went out and we were looking on the weekends. We'd go and we'd look at different double wides, different they were like prefab houses, and to try to find a style that we liked. And we found beautiful homes, but you know, they weren't exactly right. Well, after Travis was born, we kind of kicked it into high gear to look for a home, and we found this model that we have now, and we thought it was perfect, but it wasn't quite big enough, and the only way it would work is if we put it on a basement. We did not want to borrow money to put in a basement, so we waited until we had the money, the cash, to put in the basement, and then we got the mortgage. And we moved into this house when my son Travis was 8 months old. So in October, we will have lived in this home for 19 years, but we've been on this property since before, well, I've been on here before we got married, but then my husband, when we got married, he moved here, and we've been married 22 years. And I was in my 20s. Let's see, what number was I on? Number 6. Well, I just answered that one. How long have you lived in your home? This particular house, almost 19 years. On this property, over 22 years. Number 7, how many bedrooms? 3. We have 3 bedrooms. Number 8, how many bathrooms? We have 2 bathrooms. Number 9, what was the selling point for your home? What sold you on this place? Well, settling here on this property was the fact that it was the family property. That was the big selling point for me. The fact that I didn't have to buy the land. And we have almost 2 acres. 10 doesn't divide evenly into, into 6 pieces. So it's almost 2 acres of property that we have. And it was a gift. I mean, it's our inheritance from my parents. So that was a huge selling point, that we just automatically got property. And then this particular home, it just had everything we wanted. It had, we knew we needed 3 bedrooms. We knew we wanted 2 bathrooms. It's got a big open layout. Like the kitchen, dining room, and living room are all open. High ceilings, cathedral ceilings. We just loved it. But we did know, I've got a message on my email. We did know that it was not going to be the square footage, and don't ask me the square footage because I don't know. The square footage wasn't quite going to be big enough unless we put it on the basement. And we did put it on the basement, but we did not finish this basement for 8 years. We'd been in the house for 8 years before we finished the basement. And so now down in the basement, we have my office area, we have a family room, we have our laundry room, we have storage closets, and then we have a big open room that's used as a homeschool / bird room. So it really, made our home much nicer once we got the basement finished. We were able to, spread our wings and not feel like we're living right on top of each other. Number 10, what is something you love about your home? I love everything really about my home. I love the location. I love that I'm next to my parents. I love the open layout upstairs. Those are the things I love about it. I love the fact that we live in the country and we can have animals, and that it's quiet, and that the only neighbor I have is my parents. It's now my dad, and my oldest brother lives there because he's a single bachelor, So he lives with my parents, and it's just, we have a big open field across the street, so we don't have any neighbors, and it's really nice, quiet, peaceful place to live. Number 11, what is something you hate about your home? There's nothing I really hate, like that's a strong word. But there are a couple of things that I don't like. One of them we can't change, just have to learn to live with it, and the other one we're planning to change eventually. The first thing that I dislike about my property and that we can't do anything about is the fact that the land that we live on is sand. This used to be a river valley, and then they dammed up the river and made it into farmland. And parts of the property, like the fields behind us and the fields in front of us, are nice, black, wonderful dirt. And the property that we live on is a giant sand hill. And so if you've seen pictures, videos of when I go outside and you see our backyard and there's big brown patches, because not even grass will grow. Weeds won't even grow in some spots in our lawn. And we've tried seeding, and it's just a waste of money. So we basically are learning to live with our yard not being very pretty. So that's one thing and I can't have a garden. I mean, I can if we wanted to spend a lot of time, effort, and money on enhancing a garden spot. And eventually sometime we might be able to do that, but right now, financially and time-wise, we just don't have time to mess with that. We tried having a garden the first couple of years we were married, and we put so much work into it and got very little to show for it because the ground is just not, it's not conducive to growing a nice garden, at least not on our section. Now my parents' section, their grass, their soil is better over there, so they can have a nice garden and a nice lawn, but it just is what it is. The other thing that I dislike about the house, and someday we're going to change, is basically two things. There was no like coat closet, so right now we just have to hang our coats in our bedrooms, and so someday we're going to turn an area in the entryway into a coat closet. But that's just a matter of time. That's just going to take some time. And then the other thing I don't like is my bedroom. It is one of the only rooms in the house that has not been remodeled. Like I said, we've been in this home for almost 20 years. And if anyone who owns a home knows, there's upkeep, there's things that have to be changed. You know, you have to put new paint on the walls and different things like that, new flooring over time. And our bedroom is the only room that has not been redone. And it really, really needs to be redone. It's the same carpet. The carpet's 19 years old. The room is small and our furniture is big, so it's hard to move and maneuver in there. It's just crowded. I can't organize it the way I want to. I can't make it look pretty or nice because it needs to be painted, it needs new flooring, and I want new furniture. But those all take money, so it's going to have to be one of those things that will happen eventually. But it's also the only things I dislike about my home. Number 12, what is a future project you plan on completing in your home? My bedroom and our coat closet that I just talked about. 13, what is something you changed in your home immediately after moving in? Well, the home was brand new, and we were able to choose what color carpet, what color walls when we ordered the home. There's nothing we changed immediately. I mean, I guess the only thing we did immediately was my husband built the stairway from the house to the basement. But that wasn't anything that we changed. It was just, it had to be, I mean, otherwise we're going to just fall into the basement. We had to have stairs. That's the only thing we did that I can remember. Number 14. What is something you always wanted to do to your home and never get around to? Everything that we've wanted to do, we've been able to do so far. It's just we've had to be patient. It's taken time. I guess the bedroom again, but that's not something that we're never going to do. It's just eventually, and I don't know when the time frame is for that. 15. If you had to do it over again, would you rent or / buy your current home? If not, why not? If I had to do it all over again, I would definitely do what we did. I would move here. I would take our time. I mean, the single wide that we lived in when we were first married, it was a cheap used single wide that I got a very small loan for and was able to get it paid off within like 2 years after we were married. We saved our money and patiently waited until we had the money to pay cash for our basement. Our mortgage will be paid off in like 2 years, and I'm living on the family property, and I would not change that. I've loved living here. And the last question, does your home have any quirks? If so, what are they? Do you like those quirks? Why or why not? Quirks. I don't want to too long of a pause here, but I can't think of any quirks. I can't think of any. Nope, no quirks. Okay, well that was the last question, and so I hope you enjoyed listening to all about our property and our home. And I am going to tag a couple of people I'm going to tag Michelle from Mish and Nate, and I'm going to tag Lisa from Sutton's Days. But I'm also going to say that if I didn't tag you, because I'm relatively new to YouTube and I don't know a lot of you well. Some of my subscribers, I don't even know if you have a YouTube channel. But if you do, and if you want to do this tag, then by all means do it, and just let me know in the comments below if you've done it, so I can go over to your channel and hear all about your home and your property. So thanks a lot for watching, and we'll talk to you later.